Hello, hello. Welcome, my dudes, grinders, to the 13th episode of The Grind. If you are watching this on YouTube, you might notice a new setup here with our faces. Jaren has a camera. He can wave at you and do things.
I can.
That's Jaren, guys, if you didn't know. I'm joined by Jaren. It is Jaren and I, as it always is. 13 episodes. Are you superstitious, Jaren? Do you?
I mean, yeah, a little bit. My favorite number is actually 12, 13.
Okay. Do you think that this is going to go badly because it's episode 13? Buildings that don't have a 13th floor.
Are we talking about like comparatively? Because I think it's going to be the same as every other podcast.
Okay. Sure. But you don't think something is going to specifically go wrong with this podcast because it's number 13?
Nah, I think hopefully we can sail through this one.
Yeah, I think we will sail through it.
Just in case, welcome to episode 14, guys.
Yes.
This is episode 14 of The Grind.
Yeah.
Hope you guys had a good week. It's actually been longer than a week. It's been almost 2 because we recorded early for last week's episode, and then late for this week's episode. It's been almost 2 weeks since we released an episode. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it has been a while, but we did release a guide on 6-starring monsters today on Reddit, and like a written guide on Reddit with a video guide that's on our channel. So if you guys haven't seen that, check it out. It's doing pretty well. People like it. There's positive feedback. It is not an hour long like the majority of our content. It is only 13 minutes. So you guys might like that. Also, shout out to Captain Rob in our Discord for wiping on our R5 run. So his 5-star Darien needs to grow up and get better. I don't think we're going to pass this. I think we've lost completely.
We're not. Yeah, no. It's over.
So that's cool. Thank you, Rob. We appreciate you. Also, honestly, I'm just going to shout out Courtney in our Discord because he's been super helpful in helping people out. We had a couple new guys join today, and he literally hopped down in the voice channel and explained how to sell runes to them, which is a really daunting task. So that's really cool. And otherwise, I guess this will go in the intro. But we haven't actually talked about it too much on air. But there are 2 other podcasts out now. So if you guys like podcasts, Sean B has a podcast and Island Grown has a podcast, and I think they're both in video format still. So they're kind of like video casts. I don't think you can get them on Spotify, but they're the kind of content you don't have to be watching with your eyes. So if you like our podcast, if you like our format, we had Sean B on in episode 3. We haven't interviewed Island Grown. We haven't reached out to him yet for that. But hey, Island Grown, if hi, hello. If you see this somehow, we'd love to have you on. But yeah, 2 other podcasts, and I don't know. Occasionally, people have reached out and been like, "Hey, how do you feel about other podcasts existing?" Because I guess technically ours was the first Summoners War podcast, or maybe there was one in the past, but it went away. And then very very recently 2 other podcasts have come out, and I have nothing but positive feelings about extra and more podcasts coming out, because what that really says is that this is a medium that people appreciate, and if bigger and larger content creators are coming out with podcasts in the same form, different format, and that's the thing too. Their podcasts are wildly different than ours. The way they're hosted, the quality of editing, the people that are going on as interviews. But as a whole, the more podcasts there are, the better. If someone likes their podcast, they're more likely to find ours, right? Someone's watching theirs and enjoying that. They might type in Summoners War podcast and find ours. They might see ours on Reddit, and the idea of a podcast existing for this game might not have crossed their mind before. So it's only positive. It's not competition. If someone likes our podcast and someone likes their podcast, it's not like, oh no, I only have 1 hour a week to consume Summoners War podcasts. I'm going to have to choose between these. That's not how it works. People who like podcasts love listening to all kinds of stuff. So I feel great about that. And also they're able to get guests that we're not able to yet. People are busy. People have different schedules. They live in different time zones. And at the end of the day, like if I can catch like some of these high profile RTA guys, some of these great content creators on their podcasts, even if they don't have the opportunity to come on ours or haven't had the time yet, I'm excited for that. It's exciting to be able to sit down and listen to people talk about this game. That's why Jaren and I like talking about this game. That's why we have a podcast, and I'm nothing but excited for other podcasts. And I would think you agree with all that, right, Jaren? Did I miss anything?
Yeah, absolutely. Sean B and Island Grown are actually two content creators that I do enjoy watching. So yeah, the more podcasts, the better. A lot of people just automatically assume, I guess, I've gotten it, in our Discord multiple times. Oh, aren't you guys sad? Like, podcasts seem to just be popping up, and like, honestly, it's just healthy for the game in general. Like the more content creation there is out there, the more stuff for the people to learn from and consume and all that. Like the healthier the game will be in the long term because that's the stuff that's going to keep them around. The community that they can find and while I love our community, like, Island Grown, I know I've been on his Twitch. I've watched him. He has a great community there. Sean B, same thing. Like, great community there, and that's what it's really about. Like, that's why we all play games, right? Is for the community. So, well, maybe not all of us, but that's a big part of why we. So yeah,
Definitely, yeah, and I mean that's really it. We don't need to go deeper into that, but that's definitely a question that I wanted to address. Something that I've heard people ask or curious about, just like how does it feel seeing these other podcasts, and it's really, I'm excited. That's the thing. I'm genuinely excited. It gives me more content to listen to, in a way that I'm able to consume. It's good for the game, and it's generally good for the space for for podcasting as a whole. And I feel pretty happy that we are, as put it, the longest running, oldest Summoners War podcast, but barely. And all these other guys are worth checking out. So there'll be links to their two podcasts in the description of this video, for any of you guys listening to us who do like podcasts. And that's it, I think. Jaren, I sent you another raid invite, but
oh, well, I'm mid raid. Yeah, it's okay.
You're mid raid. You abandoned me to raid by yourself solo. Okay. Just abandon your people and invite me when you're ready, and I'll look for it. But rude, Rob. This is your fault. Your 5-star Darian let me down so badly.
So what happened was, actually, you were casting, and I was like, yeah, well, we failed, so let me find my own. And now what I'm in a lobby with a guy that actually has 2 teams that looks like he could carry me if I fail.
Yeah, well, you won't fail. Just okay, fine. Do I need to solo raid? Is that what you're telling me right now? Or are you just? No, I'm going back to dragons. It's too late. I'm in dragons. So let's go back to like the normal segment we usually do, which is like, what's been going on, luck. Good luck, bad luck. What's been happening in the game since the last cast for you? Do you want to start? Do you want me to start? How are you feeling, Jaren? Do you know what's been good or bad?
Yeah. Like, honestly, so it's a short list. There's been nothing good at all. I'm just kidding. There have been some highlight. There's been one highlight. I actually summoned Thalia, which is a double-edged sword. For everyone out there who's like, GZ, hold it. Because while I have 2 boomerangs, I still don't have Sabrina, which is really like, Shayna is kind of like the core, sure, but it's really Shayna Sabrina that is the core, and everyone, suggests that you always, go for Shayna, like for the event. If you have Lucian, get Shayna. Yeah, Sabrina is just as important. She is the other half, in my opinion.
I mean, Sabrina is, like Sabrina Talia would work, honestly, as a duo. Sabrina is insane. Like her passive, with the extra damage, the damage reduction.
Are you saying that Sabrina is more valuable than Shayna?
If you have other twins, yeah.
You have Talia?
Yeah, if you have other, but that being said, you've probably done 18 summons for this event?
There are 4 or 8 on a row, right?
Let's just say you've done 18. So now there's 9 on a row or something, 6 on a row, 8 on a row. Doesn't matter. More of the story, you've done like 18 summons. I know
Over
you've done.
half.
I mean, if you've
I'm
done it
over
every day,
half.
you've done. Yeah, if you've done it every day, you've done 18 summons. You can't switch. You cannot switch to switch elements, or you'll end up getting nothing. Is the true sadness and the reality of your situation. I think Shayna is still great. I think it's still totally worth you to go for Shayna, but Sabrina is very crucial as well. The core is Sabrina, Shayna, and Talia is just that like bonus nuker on top of it. It's not bad. There's no downside to pulling Talia. Literally,
no,
you're
right. You're
having
right.
Talia in your roster and getting her ready and having her prepared and using her with, Maruna or Zenobia or whatever until you get, Sabrina. But
I think it's funny how much I've dodged the twin, like the two core twins in general though. Like I've got Maruna, Zenobia, Talia, Eva, like, whatever.
Yeah,
We'll
but
move on from that.
twins are good in general, and after this event, you're going to have combos that work, and you're going to have, Shayna, and she's going to be built, and you're going to have Talia, and Talia's going to be built, and even if you just use like a fast, violent Zenobia to just like throw your Shayna and Talia at things, it's worth it. You'll have good stuff. It's fine. Better things are coming for you. You're going to get a Sabrina at some point too.
Yeah, and honestly, like I'm pretty excited about Toa. I'll have Shayna, Maruna for Toa. So
that's fun.
Yeah, I'm excited to see like how easy it becomes to clear. Just by the way, Rob, being the awesome person he is, went 6-starred his Darian. I was actually, I was talking to him in Discord. He was like, "Where'd you guys go? Darian's gonna be 6-star here in like 5 minutes. He'll be good." And I was like, "Oh well, we gave up, dude. Sorry,
We
sorry,
gave up. I'm back in
sorry,
fucking
Rob."
Dragons, dude. Yeah, we love you, Rob. Honestly, we'll raid with you later. We just can't in the middle of a fucking cast like get that set up.
Yeah, but anyway, so
okay. So what else? Any other good luck? Any other things happening?
not honestly, not a lot. Yeah,
because we'll talk
not a
about free
lot.
rune removal a little more later.
Well,
so we don't have to cover that right now.
So yeah, like I had FRR this weekend, and I'll go ahead and get into it because it's not long. So what happened was I was like, let's see here. I don't have anything to change. Like I'm still gonna run dragons. I could like tune some stuff, sure, but that's effort. So what I did was I didn't do anything for FRR. I just was like, okay, yeah, cool, everything's working. Like
great. Why not?
Whatever. So yeah, that's my FRR.
That was your whole FRR story? Is that you did no FRR?
Yeah. I haven't even really gotten any like really good runes like that are worth sharing.
I feel that way too, man. Like I got to look back through my phone over the last month to remind myself, because I feel like it's like this instant catharsis that we have going on or whatever. I don't know how to explain it, but like we pull a rune, we plus 12 that rune, we post the picture in our Discord channel, and then I forget about it forever.
Yeah, forever.
Like immediately. Like I immediately have people like yay or no or boo or whatever, and then I'm done with it, and then it's like 5 seconds later I'm like, man, I haven't pulled a single rune. I don't have any runes. So it's like, because I counted, I had 800 runes at the beginning of this month, and I had 830 runes at the end of this month. So I kept 30 runes. I just don't. I mean, I was farming giants. I kept 30 runes. I don't know what they were. I don't know if they were good. I don't know if my rune quality went up. I really don't know. My FRR was a freaking disaster. We'll talk about FRR later. My luck. I summoned a thing. I summoned a Juno off just a mystical scroll.
GZ.
Yeah, Juno is great. I'm really happy for Juno. I've wanted an Oracle forever. I've wanted a Stripper forever. And even though I know like Ciara is better. Ciara, what was that? Where were you?
Oh, I I mean, you were just talking about strippers.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I get it.
Sorry.
It's weird, like actually seeing you now. I'm gonna have to get used to it. Ciara, man. I know Ciara's great, and objectively would be a better pull, but Juno is my favorite Oracle.
Okay. I'm going to stop you there because it seems like we're going to a place that's scary where
What?
you're putting Juno above Ciara.
I mean, no. Like if I had a choice, like if I'd popped a blessing and there was a Ciara and a Juno, I'd pick Ciara. I'm not stupid,
Okay.
but
Okay.
but I don't have a choice here, and I
Right.
got Juno, and I think she's really wonderful. I just love her passive, man. Like her anti CC, healing, cleansing, like I don't know. I always and like even when she got buffs and stuff back in the day, I would always look at her and be like, she's just like a good Vermos that you can use in PvP.
No,
And
she's
it's nothing
much
like that.
better. Much better.
But yeah, she is better than Vermos for PvP. Strippers are pretty in right now. She has a lot of good stuff. She technically doesn't need skill ups. I'm probably gonna skill her up, but she's super usable as like a flex pick in RTA without getting skill ups. And she gives me cool options. Like I can do some cool arena stuff that involves like I could build like a. I mean, I know she's not a Tiana, but like I could build things that require strips. I can use her and speed tune her with like my Gene or my other CC units, and like she's just like another pick that basically like anti immunity, anti CC, anti a bunch of stuff. I don't know. I feel good. I'm definitely gonna be using her in RTA as a flex pick. She's already 6-starred, almost max level. She's behind Rakan right now for double mons, but she's probably next for me.
Yeah,
And
I
I got
mean,
on my Rakan double mons. Bad luck was, I think I put 4 double mons into Rakan since the last cast, maybe 3. Let's go with 3. I don't know where I got that third one, but 3, and they all went into his S1, so that sucks, and I want to die.
it happens. I'm curious what the skill ups for Juno do because I'm not familiar. Do you get a cooldown time?
Yeah, it's just a 1-turn cooldown on her strip, and maybe harmful effect rate or like accuracy because it's 80%, and I think maybe it goes to 100 with the. I don't know, honestly.
I think it maxes at 80. I think it maxes. I don't think there's 100%.
I mean, Soha
besides
is
Diana
100%,
and Soha.
and Triton is, I guess. So maybe Juno doesn't. Whatever. Who cares? I don't give a shit.
No, it's still really good.
I'm stoked I got Juno, especially just like off a mystical for no reason. And ahead of schedule. Normally it was 1 month exactly between my last 2 Nat 5s, and I got Juno. Honestly, what day did I get Juno? Was it exactly 1 month since my last one?
I mean, I can tell you. Let's see.
Do you want to tell me? I mean, I don't know if it's going to derail you, but
good or bad
am I on track? 1 Nat 5 a month.
See, so I don't actually know when. I don't know. I don't remember when you pulled.
The middle.
I don't. Oh wow, dupe like. Okay, I'm not looking.
It was so whatever. It's fine. That was cool. My Nat 5 luck is chill. I do a lot of summons and stuff and things. Yeah. So free rune removal, man.
Well, I
disaster.
had another question I wanted to actually ask you about Juno. So, like when do you see yourself picking Juno? Like, I'm just curious, like with your team comp and everything. I guess this is a little too specific, maybe, but
I mean, I would pick Juno into. I mean, I'd use it for anti CC, so I'd pick Juno into any CC comp like Verad, Hathor, Gene, and it basically gives me the ability to not have because I have will runes on a lot of my monsters. It basically gives me an option to not, if I have one immunity and then they pick like a Gene, I can use Juno as my flex pick. Like I could also pick another immunity, but it kind of gives me that option, especially if I have other things going on, or I know I'm fast, or how I'm ruined compared to how they're ruined. If I want to take different gambles, it gives me options there. And the other thing is if like they first pick my Fran away from me, then theoretically I just, like, hey, I don't even need to ban their immunity. I ban something else, and then I strip everything and I bully Fran with their low base stats,
Yeah. Okay.
because I'm not afraid. And you build Juno. I'm going to build her on Despair at probably like 220, 230 speed, so she should move before my stuff. And then also I can bring, something like, cool, they bully me, they take my Fran. I could bring something like Juno and Jean, and then they have to either ban one or the other or leave me with this or that. And it basically, it's a nice flex pick that makes people with immunity think twice, and a nice flex pick that people with CC think a little bit about.
Yeah. Okay.
Is basically the main place, and that's, I mean, I'm happy, like I'm excited to play with her and actually, feel it out and feel how that is going to be. But there's a lot of times where, like, at the end, I'm like, what do I want to pick for these last two picks, right? Like I'm the guy with the last two picks, and I'm looking at their team, and I could just like start slamming things in there, like Juno Jean, or Juno whatever, and then like ban something differently. It's all situational. She's a flex pick. She's not going to be in my core, but my core right now is like Ganny. My core is messed up. I can't come up with a 3-person core. So my core is like basically Ganny, Water Monkey, Tessa, and Fran is my core. And then that last pick could easily be Juno. It could easily be Wusa. It could easily be whatever I need it to be. It could be another damage dealer. It could be a Theo or whatever I have built. Eventually, maybe an Elsharian, since I'm 30 pieces away from that. But yeah, she's going to give good options. And if I'm fighting immunity or if I'm fighting CC, Juno is a really nice option to have.
Yeah. Okay, so now FRR. Go ahead and you want to get into that? I know you had
this
struggle.
This is a disaster for me, dude. Like I thought so I did all this pre-FRR work where I ruined my whole RTA team, and then I tested it and it was working well, and I was like, cool, this is cool. And then my Dragons team was failing, and I couldn't ruin a raid team, and I didn't have like leftovers for Toa, and I was just like, because last FRR I prioritized my RTA monsters. I prioritized runes on 9 RTA monsters, and then I was still able to rune a double Lucian Giants team, right? Like a pretty chill double Lucian Giants team, and so I was able to do both. I didn't have to make a sacrifice. But I do not have enough violent runes, and I need to farm dragons. I need to get more violent runes. And so if I put my violent sets on my PvP monsters, I can't put them on my Dragons team, and my Dragons team really needed them. So basically, I ended up having to scrap everything, unrune everything I did for RTA. I ruined a Dragons team, which is doing great. It's like, I don't know, 1 fail every like 3 refills. It's doing fine. It's a 1-minute Dragons team. Basically, it's what is my Dragons team, dude? I'll tell you right now since I'm looking at it. It's Verd, Kali, Shayna, Sabrina, and Lynn. It's really safe. Lynn will eventually be replaced by Talia when I pull her from the event, which we'll talk about. But yeah, so I'm doing Dragons, and I have a raid team. I have an R5 team that's like stable. I'm not wiping. I've been raiding with public people from our Discord, and my team is not the one that is put to shame. So that's cool. I have those 2 teams ruined. I'm probably going to be able to clear Toa hard because I have OP monsters and good leftovers, but. RTA is not in the cards for me until next free rune removal, and it might not be for a while because I need more violent runes. And unless I pull enough violent runes to like rune my team after FRR, do you know what I mean? It's like it's all bottlenecked by violent runes right now if I'm running Dragons. So
yeah, and that's unfortunate too, really.
Yeah.
But so we had this conversation before the cast. Violence, like the only main set that comes from Dragons, and it's also the one set that's like they set aside to like drop less than all the other sets. So not only are you like getting less violent runes than all the other runes, but there's not even a secondary main set. And I feel like there should be something there, a main set, and maybe it'll be a new main set or could be a new main set. I don't, this is just me like talking out like my own theory out loud, but
Sure.
Dragons, like you said, you're farming dragons for the craft materials more so than like the actual like the rune
Yeah.
you get from running is basically a bonus if you pull a a violent rune, but you get more
Yeah.
crafts out of it than you do anything else.
It's rare that I would actually pull a good violent rune, but I use all the red crafting materials I get from here to craft violent runes.
Yeah.
But theoretically, I think I'm maybe like 7 or 8 good violent runes away from being able to like have a leftover team that will run this consistently, or maybe Talia will fix it or something.
Yeah. I mean, and,
There's options in the future for me, which is insane because my Lin nukes so hard, and I'm like, I know how hard Talia nukes. I've seen videos, I've looked at Talia, but I'm like, I look at my Lin and I'm like, how is Talia going to replace you? But I know Talia is, and that's the insane part. Is that like my Lin hits incredibly hard.
So
but
when
Talia's better.
I actually awakened and 5-starred Talia. I was actually leveling Talia with Maruna. It worked out. So I had already 6-starred Maruna, and then I pulled Talia, but I hadn't leveled Maruna. So what I did is went farmed a bunch of fodder and leveled her and did some other stuff. But yeah, I was getting like on leftover runes, like 20k 2-hit S3
Damn.
with Talia,
Yeah.
in Feynman.
Yeah.
So like that is some pretty high raw damage output.
Yeah.
For a 5-star monster.
No, she's incredible, man. Like her damage, she nukes harder than Lyn basically. And then also the thing is with dragons, she's like a water twin. She has the elemental advantage. She has all these things going. So I'm really excited for having her, or like the ability to have her. I'm going to. But,
and something else, like I didn't realize, I hadn't looked at it as much, but the damage, from my understanding, actually stacks from Sabrina and Talia for Talia's S3.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, like I was getting those 20k nukes in Feynman with a 5-star monster, and like 6-star with an extra, 35% from Sabrina. Like that to me sounds insane. Like almost unimaginable. So
I mean that's why it is insane. It's just it's out of this world. So I'm really excited for that. I mean, and I know she's not going to be like that much better than Lyn, honestly, because my Lyn is built really well. But she's just overall going to add more consistency and a bunch more. Like there's a bunch of positives with her over Lyn. Like whether her nuking ability, right, like a Lyn Phantom Crush on the dragon versus a Talia S3, they're probably going to be about the same. And I'll let you know when I have them. But all the other advantages of having her are going to be nice. But so free rune removal, I'm not happy with it. I like RTA. I was enjoying playing around with it, but it just where my account is at progression wise, like I don't have enough violent runes to have a Dragons team work on leftover runes and put my best sets on my RTA monsters. And I don't want RTA if I don't have my best sets on my RTA monsters. So I'm taking a pause.
Yeah, and I definitely understand. I understand like that too, like knowing that you're not playing at your full potential is kind of sad, but I think it can still also be fun, and you still like get the experience of pick bands and kind of where they go wrong and that. So I would consider doing it if I were you.
I might. I mean, I'd be happy to fight you again, but going out there and I don't know, feeding to people because I know that I could have like 20 more speed and my team's not speed tuned and it's all jacked up. I don't know. I'll mess with it. But yeah, I mean, whatever. We kind of covered my luck. We covered RTA a bit. Do we want to talk about Fatal Runes, which is the rune set we wanted to talk about?
Yeah. Are you ready? We've been doing the weekly rune sets, right? This week we're on Fatal. We wanted to do all the main giant rune sets first. Fatal is very straightforward, but I'm going to break it down even from the basics. So, you get Fatal running giants. I think we covered that. And they go on your nukers. They go on your damage dealers. And as far as like what to keep, in my opinion,
well, what do Fatal Runes do? What is their full set?
So they increase attack by 35% as a set.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use Fatal still on all of my nukers. Eventually you upgrade quite a few to Rage, but Rage are harder in my experience. Or maybe I just have like better Fatal runes. I don't know, but it seems like it's harder to get a decent Rage set that
Yeah.
the optimizer is giving as like a solid set. So anyway, yeah, I've got, Fatal on, my Lucian when Law actually is on Fatal, I think. Um, Water KFG, like anybody that's going to be doing any damage, really. So when I'm farming for Fatal runes, I started out, I kept, any blue 2 and 6 slot rune that was 6-star attack percent. It's because I didn't have decent runes. But
Yeah.
at this point, like, I'm looking for a rune with synergy. Like speed is a bonus, but not necessary on nukers. Like obviously, I want my nukers to be as fast as possible. But if a rune doesn't have speed, I'm not gonna like sell it automatically, like I might
Yeah.
with a Swift rune that had the same stats on it. But synergy is like most important. I want to see at least like 2 nuker stats or 2 full bruiser stats too on there, just to consider using it. So crit rate, crit damage, attack percent, or like a crit rate HP, crit rate defense, or crit rate HP defense. Like those are the stats I'm looking to have on a rune to keep it. And I'm not as strict either about 5 or 6 star with Fatal. I've realized like if I think I can get
Hmm.
decent crit rate out of 5-star rune, um, and by that I mean like it's not sitting at 3% crit rate off
When
the
you pull
bat,
it, yeah.
yeah, then I'll roll it out and at least see, because crit rate is kind of hard to rune when you're building a ton of monsters, especially like that's something you've talked about too, is just like not having rune quality. But if I want
Yeah.
to use them in like guild siege or whatever, and I just need to hit
Yeah.
85 crit rate, then I can throw that on there because it rolled 17 crit rate, 5 crit damage, whatever. um so yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it. What about
Yeah.
you?
I mean, I think you touched on it. I use Fatal less and less now as I get more and more into violent nukers and all these other things. But I mean, Fatal runes, they're DPS runes. They're meant for dealing damage. So you can put Fatal runes on a damage dealer, like you said. So, in raids, in Rift, in Siege, in even in like some Guild Wars scenarios, like Fatal is useful. And then the main place that I use Fatal still is on my Lucians in arena offense, right? So any arena offense nuker, Fatal is wonderful there. I like speed on my Lucians because I have them speed tuned to my arena offense, but yeah, fatal runes. You can use them in broken sets, obviously, but you want to have synergy with damage stats. And I think you covered that perfectly. Like ideally, you want speed on it, but it's not crucial on a fatal rune. Where like a support rune with like defense, HP percent, resistance, and no speed, it's like maybe I would put it on a Darien, maybe, but
Yeah,
otherwise I'm selling it. So fatal runes are nice on that front. That speed is kind of a secondary consideration because when you put a fatal set on something, you're giving it that attack power boost, and you want it to be able to nuke hard. And then there's plenty of ways of getting around having a hard nuker that's slow. Um, you know, Rifts don't care about speed; they care about relative speed. All your monsters speed relative to each other, but you get a certain amount of turns before it moves. I guess technically the same in lab, and fat Lucians are things, and this and that. So yeah, I mean, I think we covered it. Do you know, Jaren, which scenario drops fatal runes?
yeah,
Um,
it's this. I'm pretty sure it's like the second or third. Well, yeah, the second or third one, right? The one that's all the
sec-
fire monsters.
the second one, I think we'll look that up. Maybe, maybe we won't. It's really easy to look up, guys.
Yeah,
There's a scenario you can get fatal runes from scenario, unlike the despair runes we talked about last time. Maybe
yeah.
worth it, if you
I
need them,
I would
but
say it's
probably not.
probably not
Yeah,
worth.
probably like Swift runes. I think, in my opinion, like Swift and Energy back in the day, I farmed from scenario, but Fatal runes, don't worry about it. Honestly, um,
Right.
that's the sad reality of it. Is at this point, I have one rage set and a lot of the times my fatal sets are worse than just like pure broken sets or like double blade sets or whatever for thing when I need a pure damage dealer. But fatal is great. It's a great drop from giants. If you get a great fatal rune from giants, like that's going to go on your Lucian. That's going to go on something that you're going to use for the rest of the game, for the rest of your life. So
yeah. And actually, my fastest slot 6 rune is actually a fatal rune. It was one that I had pulled, forgot to roll, so
of
it
course.
sat in my box for I don't know how long, and then like I remember I was at work. It was a Friday, and I only know that because I was cleaning my desk. Like I still remember getting the nice triple roll, 24 speed, like
Wow.
attack slot 6 fatal rune. And it's pretty sure it's got crit rate on it too. So yeah, I mean it was fantastic rune, and it
Yeah.
actually funny story. It's on my Talia now because apparently last FRR it just didn't get used.
How?
I don't know
How
why.
do you not
So
use a fucking 24 speed rune? What's on your Bernard? Do you even have a Bernard?
what's
What's
a
on your
Bernard?
Chloe?
What? What's a Bernard? It should
What,
be
yeah,
on my Chloe. I should have put it on my Chloe. I don't
yeah.
know what I was thinking.
Who are you? That's, I think.
So moral of the story, yeah, I found it in my box, ruining Talia, and I was like, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting. I don't know. That's funny. Yeah, that happens to me all the time though, man. Like I'll have a really sick rune. I'll be like, this rune is a great rune. Like I have a slot 5 will rune that's got 21 speed on it, and I'm like, this is definitely going on something. And like I didn't even get to use it this FRR because like I have like better violent sets that go there, or like it was just like it didn't. I have a faster Swift rune for my Swift dudes, and I just couldn't put this 21 speed will rune on anything.
Yeah, and see
And
that's
it was really sad.
I've run into that. I think we all have. I have a 21 speed will rune as well, actually, which I probably my favorite rune that I've pulled.
Yours is slot 4 crit damage though, right? Or
Yeah,
is it?
yeah, it
Yeah,
is
dude,
with crit rate and attack.
that's
Um,
BS. That's a broken rune. It's
yeah, so
illegal.
it's on my Perna.
Yeah. Um, Freaking
So
Perna, man. How is your Perna doing for you, by the way?
well, so
Just checking up on
I'll
that
tell you,
Perna.
after FRR, I decided to rerun Perna actually. So I think I might have actually taken it off because I just needed I needed a violent rune in that slot basically to like get the stats I needed. So
Yeah.
I actually gave him a slot 6 attack percent. He was built with HP. And now I'm like super close to passing Wind Rift. Um, like 10 more crit rate out of Perna would be great, and then some tankier stats on Lucian. I'm using Lucian or just another fire damage dealer.
Yeah.
In general, like I think consistently get like an S rating on to farm for recaps. Which was my goal with reruning Perna in the first place, was just like trying to farm reaps. So
Yeah, that's why I 6-starred Lapis to like turn my Fire Rift team into easy mode, and it did not.
well,
Lapis just constantly uses S2 when I need her to clear
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's trash.
So
And
I
I'm sad.
actually and I'm gonna like rerune mine to try to make it a little easier, but I'm using Barad on Fire Rift for that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I
and
tried everything.
honestly, like mine's just built like speed, defense, and he will clear up until third jump. And if I have a defense buff, he will clear even on third jump when he uses AOE. Um, I don't normally. I feel like any of the units that have defense buff though are like kind of useless. Like I know there's Megan,
Yeah.
but she just doesn't quite bring what I need to like clear it. So I'm not like S clearing with that
Yeah.
team, but like I've noticed like Varad is very efficient at clearing the
Yeah.
minions. So
I know plenty of people
maybe have
use
the runes.
Verad. The thing that's frustrating for me is it's just, I mean, it's the same thing. I have double S, triple S on like all the rifts except light, and I can't build a consistent team after I build the team. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I need to build my dungeon team and I need to build my raid team. And now I can't build a single Rift team that works.
Does
it
does
sucks.
does your Perna not make the light beast just like super easy?
My Perna? I don't have a Perna
Oh,
to make light beast super easy.
right. Sorry.
So, yeah, correct. You're right. My Perna, the amount of Pernas that I have, is not enough for me to clear light beast.
Okay,
sadly.
fair enough.
So yeah,
my Perna didn't enable light beast either, for what it's worth. Now the lead is actually insane.
I mean, Perna lead and her passive, like,
yes,
like she can be in the front line as a nuker. You know what I mean? And then like, also heals your entire team. Like, Perna's ludicrous. I mean, whatever. This isn't a Perna highlight episode, but Perna is ludicrous and the best monster in the game. I will say that for sure.
The best elemental monster, maybe.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah. I mean, like.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if you can even consider like L&D Nat 5s as in the game because they're just not.
Yeah.
You know, we're never gonna have. So.
Who's never gonna have an L&D Nat 5?
Neither of us will never have. We'll never either of us have an L&D Nat 5. You know, because that's just. Yeah.
I'm actually I'm really sad that you say that because like I just want a toy so bad, and like I was talking about it in Discord the other day. I will legitimately be upset if I pull a storage guardian like L&D Nat 5.
It's something like on average, if you don't buy L&D packs, it's on average like 3 years to get an L&D Nat 5. The average person.
I think it's like even more. I think it was like closer to 4. Maybe I could be wrong, but they also, with the updates, by the way, added L&D pieces to the guild shop. So
Yeah.
I will buy them. After I buy 4-star Rainbow Mon, I will buy them.
They're 450. I don't know.
Well,
I'm not sure.
You have an L&D Nat 5. So here's my thought process. Like,
just because I have an L&D Nat 5, my dream is to pull an L&D Nat 5 without telling you. Like your dream that you literally had this as a dream, but it's been my goal.
It's literally my dream.
Yeah, ever since I pulled Asima, because even when I pulled Asima, I was considering like, should I hide Asima? Like, should I not show Jaren that I have Asima so he doesn't get like super salty?
Yeah.
But no, my life goal is to pull another L&D Nat 5 and then 6-star fully skill it, get it like, you know, like pull like a ragdoll or an Artemil or a, you know, whatever, something sick. Even if it's trash, even if it's like the worst one in the game. Like if I pull like a Trinity, right? I'm gonna put my best fucking root set on that right after free root removal, and I'm gonna be like, hey Jaren, just come RTA me, bro. Like let's just a real quick tester match, and I'm gonna pick it, and I'm gonna cleave you with it, and then I'm gonna put it back in storage, and you're never gonna see it again, and that'll be it.
That'll work. No, so what he was referencing, in case you guys weren't aware, and I talked about it in Discord today, actually. So I've had 2 dreams. This was not one. This was 2. The first one is the one that he's really referencing, though. I pulled Tian Lang, and I waited until like I had the time to like 6-star max him. I didn't like skill his stuff up or whatever, but like I did 6-star max him, and then I just, you know, as casually as could be, it was like, hey Keith, RTA me, and just like last picked him, so that, and like Keith was like freaking out in my dream, so that didn't really happen. And then last night I actually had a dream I pulled Yan Hong, and I posted that in Good or Bad Luck because I figured like it belonged, because like someone somewhere pulled Yan Hong, right? Mm-hmm. Even if it wasn't me. Not really.
Yeah.
So
dream you though.
Right. Yeah. I figured it belonged.
In another universe.
Like when I think of the chances of pulling an L&D Nat 5, and then I think of the chances of like dreaming of pulling an L&D Nat 5, like they lined up in my opinion. So I was like, yeah, it goes here. But
I dreamed that I pulled the light occult girl, and then like in my dream, I
Or
didn't know what she did.
Laura?
I don't know, but it was like, and in my dream, I had her, and I was like, cool. But then like it was like a really weird. Like I didn't like I right now don't know what her kit is, and in my dream I
She's
didn't know what
super
her kit
good.
was.
She's
But
really
I
good.
dreamed that I pulled her, and then in my dream I was just like kind of like, why is this happening? Is this a dream? Like this is probably a dream. There's no way this is.
Yeah,
And then
so
obviously it was a dream. But that's the only like I really don't have Summoner's War dreams. I had when I had a fever and I had the flu, I had a dream that there was an Orion that just kept using his S3 on
I
me
remember you telling me
over
that.
and over and over and over. But that's
And
probably like the only other Summoner's War dream I've ever had. Um,
and that sounds like probably like kind of a reflection of how you felt. You just kept like getting strip stunned and defense broken over and over
yeah,
again.
constantly. Like I must have been like a Leica or something in my dream, and there was just
Yeah.
an Orion, like my worst nightmare. You know. But yeah, you mentioned the update.
I did.
How do you feel about this sick buff to siege rewards?
Um so again, this was one of the things like I was very upfront with Keith about before the cast.
Yeah.
So I don't know how the buff affects me. I probably should.
You've had one siege since, right?
Yeah, and I got buku crystals. A
I
lot
got
of
0
crystals.
crystals my last siege
I don't
because it was very tough.
Well, so the thing is the change came at a really weird time for me. So people who are like weekly listeners know like I've actually started 6-starring more recently than I ever have before. And the result of that is I'm winning more siege battles. I have more units.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a good baseline to really go off of because I'm just now to the point where winning 4 and 5, 6 matches is not like uncommon.
Yeah.
So I haven't really gotten like a good idea about like how many crystals I was getting even before that, because there would still be sieges where I would win, 2 or 3, or even maybe even 1 if I was lucky. So, I didn't have a good baseline. I got 100 crystals and like 100 guild points in the last one, and I won maybe like 3 or 4 matches. Um, I was fine with it. I don't know. I saw all the posts. I saw all the people doing all the math. I saw it all. And my takeaway was people are not happy.
Yeah.
And
you get
it
a
looks
lot
like,
less.
yeah, I was like, it looks like a pretty big nerf.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's like
Like
40%
that's pretty much it.
on average across the board. And not only that, but the new system kind of encourages people to just do the bare minimum, and then whatever they get, they get. Cool, I guess, that siege farming is gone ish, but I mean it's not like they didn't do anything to nerf siege farming. They just nerfed siege rewards. So it's like
They
anyone
nerfed
who
winning
wasn't
and siege, right? Like
yeah,
that's
like
the
anyone
gist
who
of it.
wasn't siege farming before got fucked by this update, and anyone who was siege farming before also got fucked by this update. But it's like cool, I guess. Like you really made siege less cool. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not sure. My guild isn't like super big on siege. We do it. We try and win, but we're not as like hardcore. I know that like Corton and a couple guys in our Discord are like all about siege. I know there's plenty of dudes actually in our Discord. You guys should all like link up. Maybe I'll make a siege channel for you. But you guys are like all about siege teams and defenses and stuff, and I'm not all about siege teams and defenses. But as a whole, it feels like just less. Like you get less for the same amount of effort at the very least, which
Right. Well,
kind of sucks.
you still get crystals, you still get guild points, which those guild points are your next L&D Nat 5.
I guess. I mean, I don't think I'm ever going to buy those pieces, honestly. I guess people do, but
right. So here's
I'd
my
rather have like an
thoughts.
elemental scroll, or honestly just a vanilla mystical. I'd rather have 2 vanilla mystical scrolls than 5 L&D pieces.
I
Guild
get
Shop.
that. So it's the long con lottery.
Yeah.
But all the units that you pull with those mysticals, and I spend all mine on L&D pieces, eventually I will have summoned so many more L&D scrolls that I will pull an OP L&D Nat 5.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you get two pieces, right? You can get there 10 pieces total a week.
Yeah.
So you can get 40 pieces in a month if you get all the fixings for it. I mean, it's basically like almost one L&D. Like if you do a couple shop refreshes, or you open your shop occasionally, it's basically one more L&D scroll a month, which is pretty good, honestly. And I guess the trade-off is just I'm literally so instant gratification. Like if someone just offered me, hey, would you rather have an L&D scroll or 25 mystical scrolls, I would probably take the L&D scroll.
Yeah, me too.
But if someone offers me, hey, would you like to not buy a scroll from your guild shop today? I'm gonna say no, and I'm gonna buy a scroll.
I was
and,
buying I was
myself.
buying the scrolls for Shane. I was buying fire scrolls, so I was buying the elementals. I'll probably switch over to water, but
Yeah, I'm buying wind for Skogul right now.
Now I'm just gonna buy the L&D pieces, and I'm gonna cry in Dark Martial Cat whenever I finally summon.
Have you ever considered getting a Tessarian before you buy L&D pieces?
So
have you ever thought that one of the best
why do I
PvP monsters in the game?
Why do I need Tessa when I've got Water Dryad? I don't need Tessa.
You're right. They do the same thing. Water Dryad is just a water Tessa. You're fine. You're set. You've checkmate. You've done it. You've really done it.
That was sarcasm for people listening at home. That was Water Dryad is not the same
you want
thing.
To build your Water Dryad the same way as Tessa, just
I did
crit
though.
Damage HP.
So I was about to say something dumb, so forget about it. Yeah, I mean, I could get a Tessa. I could do that. I just got a speed grind for Swift, which is always good. It was blue, but who cares? Speed grind. Sorry to interrupt.
Cool. Congrats on the speed grind. I think we should probably start finishing up. I know it's a little bit shorter, but I have a few things to do, and it is growing late and dark, if you can tell.
Yeah. No worries.
So, what are your thoughts? Any final thoughts on any final things before we finish this episode?
Not entirely. The same as usual. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. And our Discord is way past the point that I ever imagined it would be at this point. I think we have like 60 people total or something like that, and like it's constantly like people talking and having great conversation. I haven't come across anyone being rude or anything. Haven't had any issues at all, and it's really a great resource. I pull on the knowledge from everyone in there constantly. So yeah, I mean, if you guys are interested in that, we'd love for you to join. Keith and myself are both active in there, on a daily basis. And with that in mind too, we actually posted in one of our channels just looking for ideas on supplemental guides and videos that you would like to see. If there's something that you feel like you can't really find a great guide or source for, let us know. Keith's the one that's really been kind of spearheading that, but you can always drop a line in our Discord, and we can see what we can make happen. But yeah, got
Definitely.
Anything?
I mean, I agree with everything. Again, guys, check out the other podcasts that I mentioned at the beginning of the cast. We've got nothing but love for other podcasts and all their awesome guests and everything that's been going on there. And then also feel free to check out the video that I did make, the guide that I did make, how to 6-star stuff fast. Hop on our Discord, hit us up, comment on things. I love engagement anywhere. It doesn't just have to be in Discord. Anytime anyone comments something positive, I read it. So I mean, I read every comment, positive or not.
You had
But maybe
well,
just be positive. Don't roast me or whatever. Some dude on Reddit today. Shout out to this guy. I don't remember his name, but he said I looked like his girlfriend. So
yeah,
that was cool.
Like minus the facial hair and nose ring.
Yeah,
and
he was like, you look like my girlfriend. If you take out your nose ring and shave your mustache and get rid of your man bun, but he didn't say anything about the beard. So
yeah.
um,
Well, your response was golden.
I
Honestly, I
I mean,
laughed.
yeah, like if his girlfriend looks like me, she's pretty hot. So, okay, that's gone too far. I've gone too far. This is it. That's everything from me. Hopefully, I pull another Nat 5 before the next cast, so I have something to talk about, or like maybe a good violent rune. One good violent rune, or an L&D Nat 5, so that I can destroy Jaren in RTA. I'll take either one of those if you're listening.
Yeah,
Come to us.
I will too.
Yeah.
And
me first though.
Sure, he has one. It'll be me.
No,
anyway.
I don't. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys like this new format. Whoever's catching us on YouTube, where we both have our faces and things and stuff. There's not me failing dragons runs in the background anymore. But this is hopefully a more entertaining view for those of you actually watching on YouTube. So that's it. Have a good one, team, and I'll let Jaren say the last words and finish it up.
Yeah, thanks guys for listening, and we'll catch you next week. This has been episode 13.